I'm Tom, and people, quickly, can we push for 700 subscribers? I know it's a small number. I know it's nothing out of this world crazy. Look, I never ask for big subscribers like this. At the end of my video, I always say, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But in reality, I never really ask for subscription things like that, people. But I've really stagnated around this 690 mark, really stagnated. And look, it's no one else's fault but my own. Content hasn't been at where it should be, and I haven't been uploading as frequently as I should be. I do apologise for that. I've got a few things down the pipeline. There'll be a new series starting tomorrow, which I'm excited to start. Hopefully you'll like it as much as I'm going to enjoy making it. These videos will be more regular, picking up the pace on that. So I will fix it, but I really want to push that 700 mark. It's nothing crazy, but for me, it would mean a lot. And hey, it is my YouTube birthday week. Apparently, that's what YouTube said. So I'd really appreciate it, people, if you could just click that subscribe button. Again, I'll stop banging on about it now, but it would mean more to me than you probably realise. Anyway, Ben Whitaker versus Liam Cameron. It's fight week, and it's just not been billed like a fight week. And I'll expand. Let me explain. You'd expect, especially with the sort of name of Ben Whitaker, this to be kind of everywhere, and it's kind of not. Do you know what I mean? You think there'd be way more talk about this, way more promotion going on. And I think the reason is because it's just not a good look for Ben Whitaker in any way at all whatsoever. Nothing about this is good for Ben Whitaker. You know, he's looked really poor against Liam Cameron the first time. Forced into taking a rematch, I don't believe he really wanted to take, but he has to, in the opinion, you know, by the public jury, you know what I mean? We have to see it. And then this whole debacle throughout he's become extremely cocky and arrogant and I don't want to say bullying, right, but extremely dismissive of an opponent who's a really likeable, nice guy in the boxing scene. One of the more likeable, one of the nicer guys in the world of boxing, right? And that couple, you know, the way he was like, just how he was towards Liam Cameron hasn't been nice, still isn't nice now. Like, he's not improved that. He doesn't have to, right? But he's not improved that. He wasn't able to showboat. He didn't put on a good performance, and he's gone out there and he's still making excuses, won't admit what's going wrong, call himself the head honcho, and it's really not a good look. Then the fight negotiations, making it 12 rounds and suddenly backing out, making it 10. And when, you know, if you're that confident you're that much better than him, why don't you just fight him over 12 rounds? Why don't you get him out of there in 6? Why are you so hell-bent? You know, if it was someone like AJ fighting or Dubois fighting a journeyman, then he wouldn't care if it was 12 rounds because he probably wouldn't expect it to go 12 rounds. But they're making a big deal out of this, and it's really not a good look. I think that's why there's not been much promotion about this. Now look, don't get me wrong, I expect Ben Whitaker to win this fight. I don't rate Ben Whitaker, I really don't. And I've said this since the start of his career. I don't fancy him to be the guy that everyone's making him out to be. And that's not me slating him. He's just, you know, he's an Olympic silver medalist. I think he'll be top caliber. I think he'll be world level. I just think he's in a tricky division, and I don't expect him. I'm not expecting world-beating status from him. You know, I don't mean that in a negative way, but I also just don't like the guy. People saying, yeah, he's just, I don't mind if you're going to be cocky and showboaty, if you do that across all levels. We're already seeing him not do that at the level he's at now. So how is he going to fare against the top guys? He's not going to be. This is his style. No, it's not. You've done it to get a few clicks, and it worked, and fair enough. Look, I'm not trying to slate that. But then you're not doing it against tougher opposition. How are you going to do it against the other guys? And then that arrogance. I don't know if you watched that face-off, but I'm watching the face-off, and he's sitting there, I'm the head honcho. Everyone wants to beat me. No, you're not. Have you seen your division? The head honcho. You've got Bivol and Beterbiev sat at the top. They're the head honchos. Below that, you've got Benavidez. Below that, you know, let's look domestically. Yard, Buatsi, Callum Smith, and you're calling yourself the head honcho, a guy who couldn't even beat Liam Cameron, to the point where people are genuinely questioning if he threw himself out of the ring. You're not that guy, pal. You made a few viral clips because, you know, you were showboating against journeymen, and you did, and credit to you, an Olympic silver medalist. But to sit there in this face-to-face and call yourself the head honcho, that's why you're not liked amongst the boxing community now. That's why these people that once liked you are starting to not like you. And I don't doubt he'll beat Liam Cameron. I don't. But I do question how far he can really go. Because as I say, top of the division, you've got the aging guys, right? Benavidez. Imagine him against Benavidez. Imagine him against Beterbiev, Bivol. And then we'll look domestically. This is an England regional level fight. It's not even an England level fight, because we'll look at England. Anthony Yard beats him. Joshua Buatsi beats him. Callum Smith beats him. And for the record, right, I know that they're at completely different stages in their career. And that's absolutely fair enough. I know they're at the completely different ends of their career. I'm fine. I didn't make that comparison. You called yourself head honcho. I will not, I'm not sitting here saying you should be top guy. You should be beating Benavidez and Bivol and Beterbiev and Smith and Arthur and Buatsi. You said you're head honcho. If you're going to say that, then yeah, expect the comparisons, because you're not. You're not even a head honcho in the UK. You've got Buatsi and Smith who would smoke you. You've got Yard who would beat you. You've got Benavidez whose level's above you. You've got Bivol, Beterbiev. Don't call yourself head honcho. And this is why he's just an unlikable guy. So I expect him to get the job done. I do. I think he'll beat Liam Cameron. I kind of want Liam Cameron to win, but I think he'll beat Liam Cameron. And I think he'll go on and be world level. I think he's good. I just question how far does he go. And this whole debacle is a really bad look for him. But people, you know, your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know how you see the fight going. As always, make sure you like, a comment, and a subscribe. You know how all this YouTube stuff works, people. Peace.